Incompetent Pod.
Welcome to the Perpetual Incompetence Podcast, a journey in competitive self-improvement.
Come along as we recap the year and decide on who was the overall champion of 2022.
We'll go through the earned honorifics and discuss our thoughts on each one. Hi, I'm World Hammer, True Believer, and Poetic Soul, Mike Scooby-Don't Collins, the introspective detective.
Hello, I'm Master Yogi, Master of Wind, the Songsmith, the Busiest Beaver, your new best friend, Yumpin' Yodeler Dan Collins, the Tanky Planker.
And I'm Captain Credentials, Mr. Sunshine, Future Corpse, and Synergistic Mystic, Travis Greenicus Brabin, the Silver-Tongued Pumpkinist. If this is your first time listening, don't start here, unless you're into spoilers, which if that's your thing, then by all means. For the last year, we've been competing in a series of low-stakes challenges, and now, at the end of the year, we're going to recap the challenges that we've done so far, and then we'll wipe the slate clean for 2023.
Okay, so we need to figure out our honorific for the end of the year. So the champion of 2022, what do you guys got?
Champion of 2022. That's pretty good.
Boo! How about
what is the grandest, most ridiculous? Because you got to go big, right? It's for the entire year, and this will last through the years.
The almighty conqueror.
That's another word for champion. Conqueror is good.
Conquistador.
Conquistador Fantabuloso.
I don't hate that.
That's not.
I don't hate that
either. How do you actually? Is fabuloso?
How about
fabulous
like
conqueror? Right.
The president, king, the king, man, prince of victory.
Something about like,
victorious
crusader or something.
Yeah, the crusader for justice. What's somebody who's seeking renown?
There's no seeking involved. This is somebody who's already achieved
achieved the renowned conqueror, the conqueror of renown, the champion of renown.
What about the crowned crusader?
The crowned crusader. I don't like crusader so much.
The crowned conquistador.
It's the same thing.
Slightly different.
Right? Yeah, it's true. Conquistador.
I kind of like crowned, but
crowned.
Then again, it is just for 2022. There will be others.
Yeah.
How about like the triumphant
troglodyte?
Why does troglodyte come up so much?
It's
Apollo.
It's a fun word.
Zeus.
The Zeus goose.
The triumphant titan.
Titan of something. Titan
industry.
Titan of triumph.
Titan of conquest.
I feel like a single strong word like titan is good, or like the doorstop, or like what's a strong like the boulder.
That's your one word. Doorstop.
I was trying to think of like immovable objects.
The door. Maybe let's play in the space. The doorstop.
The stapler.
The door stopper.
The water bottle.
You are looking at things in your room, naming them. The super doorstop. The premier doorstop.
The super.
How about distinguished doorstop?
It doesn't have to be doorstop. That was just a suggestion. It could be something else.
You brought it up.
Bad one at that.
How about like the boulder, or like what?
I do like one adjective, sort of. Like one thing to sort of preface all of the other future titles.
Yeah, just like an adjective that goes first before
master.
You start.
How about the master? And then we can't use it for the next year.
We can't use master. We did use master twice.
That's what
last
I mean.
Time.
That's why we banned it.
Master's it's weird.
Yeah, you're right.
What about illustrious?
I like that.
How about
And like it could before you have any other honorifics, it could just be the illustrious one.
the illustrious? Yeah, it'd just be like the illustrious, whatever goofy name we have. How about
Or we could.
dandy? That's a good one.
What if we do like something with prime, like the first, the primal champion, or like the
The primal dandy.
nope, hard pass.
Dandy is a very funny word.
The dandy doorstop.
What winning ascendant?
The dandy doorstop.
What about the ascendant?
The ascendant.
The ascendant.
The ascended.
It was
Superior.
the ascended. The ascended's good.
The
The
ascended.
ascended. You've ascended above all the rest of us plebes.
The ascended.
Dominator.
The greatest guy.
Just the greatest, like
the
Muhammad
greatest.
Ali.
What about the prime pugilist?
Pugilist.
What is pugilist?
Means-
That's basically fighter, fist
Like a
fighter.
Boxer.
Oh. Grand Slam.
Splendid. That's a nice one. Splendid.
Splendid. Yeah, I like that.
Just splendid. Splendid Dan. Splendid Mike.
How about the blue ribbon?
Blue ribbon winner. First prize.
First prize.
First prize. It's not much of a honorific.
Right.
Or just like first prize winner.
First prize dandy.
Or
First prize doorstop.
what if we changed it to be like the trophy holder, and then like next year whoever wins gets the trophy, and then they're the trophy holder.
What if
What if we just do reigning champ?
What if
Reigning champ
let me
is
that's
be
pretty
good.
good. What if we had a like the trophy holder, but like we create a name for the trophy that gets passed around, and the name of the trophy gradually gets extended year by year. The
So
trophy
then we have like
the
holder of
yeah.
the
Yeah, I was just gonna say like the holder of
the splendid, the dandy trophy.
doorstop.
wielder of the incompetent cup,
Now
or something like
the
that.
incompetent
Ooh.
cup.
That's
The
good.
incompetent
Well, no,
champions cup.
you're the competent, right? No,
No,
that would go against the name of the podcast.
it would.
That doesn't make
Because
any
we are
sense.
perpetually incompetent.
That's the name of the podcast.
How
yeah.
about the doorstop cup?
What
the
if we just
whole-
do like current wielder of the incompetent cup, or something like that? Something like to indicate, like
Yeah.
tie it to the podcast,
Okay,
and that it's a roving title.
I would be
I
into
like
that,
that.
if we give a name, like a adjective to the incompetent cup, like the illustrious incompetent cup, and the next year could be the illustrious distinguished incompetent cup, and then the
Whoa.
next year the dandy illustrious distinguished incompetent cup.
You're really pushing for dandy here.
I am the splendid dandy illustrious incompetent cup premier.
So what if we just start with current wielder of, and then we can tack on, the gilded cup or some, or do you want to add one right off the top?
Right off the top, I feel like we earned it.
So wielder of, are we good with the incompetent cup, or do we want to do something else?
That really rolls off the tongue
It
pretty
does.
good.
I'm quite taken with it.
Incompetent cup
Well, like of glory or something like that.
Yeah.
of
But-
glory
Incompetent
Incompetent
cup of
of victory.
we can just add. We keep adding stuff. I was the dazzling, delightful, famous, grand.
Razzle dazzle.
I do sort of like the incompetent gilded cup, or the gilded incompetent cup. That's a bit wordy.
Whoa. Say that
The
10 times
incompetent-
fast.
Yeah, the incompetent cup, like of triumph, or I think of is probably a good place to start.
Well, it could be like of domination, of winning. of superiority.
superior something. The Incompetent Cup of superior achievement.
Well, how about this? The winner gets to pick
The winner gets to pick what it is for the year.
what the adjective of the Incompetent Cup is.
Okay. Then
I mean, we
Mike,
already know who the winner is.
we do. But in future years, Mike could maybe add dandy if he wanted to.
That's true. Yeah, I think that's fine.
Okay, so we're gonna
There's
say
nothing we
the
could do about it.
holder of the Incompetent Cup of Glory, or the heroic Incompetent Cup of Glory, or whatever, and we can just
Yeah.
keep on. And
You get to add-
I'm into that.
You get to add your own adjective to
Oh,
it.
I remember I was gonna. So like holder may not be the best word. Holder
I like wielder.
or
Wielder.
the bearer.
Bearer's good.
Bearer. I like bearer.
Bearer.
Yeah, that's good.
Bearer
That's
of
good.
the Incompetent Cup.
Yeah.
It's got kind of a Knights Templar
And
sound
Yeah.
to it.
I
like
would
it.
request that whoever gets to choose what they, what we add to the end of it, that it has to be quite grandiose
Grandiose is important.
and like,
Yeah.
of sublime beauty, or something like that would be.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so we got it. The bearer of the Incompetent Cup.
Okay.
Adjectives to be TBD.
Okay.
all right.
Wonderful.
We're ready. Now we're in business.
Mike, do you want to start with one of your honorifics?
Yeah, let's see here. Let's go back to the beginning, or near the beginning. True Believer, which, as you recall, we spent 2 weeks becoming Justin Bieber fans.
Yeah. Honestly,
I
I think this one. I feel like mentally I put the most effort into this one.
it was definitely a hurdle to get through. I do think it kind of set us up, or set me up anyway, for kind of open-mindedness more, as we embarked on some of the other ones,
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was good to do early on. It kind of set a precedent of, like let's not be judgmental of things before we try them, because I think we all kind of came out thinking, well, at Travis maybe not so much, but like we came out sort of being like, yeah, it's fine, it's pretty good. But going
It-
into it, we thought we were all just going to be like, this is the worst thing ever.
I mean, I don't think that I thought it was gonna be the worst thing ever, but I didn't expect to. I don't know. I didn't expect to come out liking it, and I ended up being correct in that. And I'm like, I guess maybe not liking it, but it's fine. I will say, like I said in one of the other episodes, I have gone back and I do listen to some Justin Bieber songs. I have "Lonely" on one of my playlists, and I do pick up on when I hear Justin Bieber songs in, like, Target or whatever. When I hear the songs now, I'm like, oh, I know who that is, and yeah, I sort of enjoy it.
Yeah, I feel the same. Like I'll hear it and I'll be like, hey, I'm like, that's my boy JB.
Yeah.
And it puts a smile on my face when I hear Justin Bieber like overhead or something.
It does, yeah, I agree. And then I will say it's made its way into regular circulation on my playlist. My playlist is has been experiencing shock and awe for several years now, so it doesn't really know what's going on.
Yeah.
So the Justin Bieber didn't affect it too much. And yeah, I enjoy, some of the songs I really do enjoy, and I still do enjoy when they come on. So like Ghost, I still listen to that one. Hold
Yeah.
On, that's another one I liked. So yeah,
I do think that doing this challenge reaffirmed, or basically proved, that no matter what your thoughts about Justin Bieber are, you cannot question his talent.
Yeah.
That guy is incredibly talented. Very, very good singer, for sure.
Did you guys see he had like a medical condition where he like lost some feeling in his face, and it legitimately bummed me out.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, that's sad for anybody.
that's
yeah.
true. I don't wish it on somebody, but I may have wished it on him before.
Maybe before I got to know him.
Yeah,
But I think he's honestly like a good dude.
That's kind of
I think I mentioned in the episode, I think he's as good as he possibly could have turned out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
All right.
All right.
Any
Who's
other
next?
Bieber thoughts? Are we moving on?
Let's
move
keep
on.
moving. We got a lot of these.
Yes, we do.
Um,
Dan, what do you got?
yeah. Since we're starting at the beginning, let's start at the beginning. Master Yogi, the very first one we did.
Mhm.
I feel like we've grown. It seems like so long ago.
It
It
was,
does seem like a while.
We've grown so much. We've learned so much.
indeed.
We have such better recording equipment.
That is for
That's
sure true.
yes.
Do
I
you
think
guys
that
still do yoga?
I stretch.
I
I don't do yoga dedicated.
I do it from time to time, where I kind of never spent a lot of time with it. I had done it a little bit before we got into it, but I think spending time doing it purposefully kind of helped me learn how to stretch better. Does that make any
Sure.
sense? Like
Yeah.
I learned some tips and stuff as we were doing that. As like, oh, this is useful, and my neck is always tight, because I'm a desk troll,
Yeah.
Mhm.
so I I'm always stretching, and the yoga definitely helped me, and I use some of the techniques that we learned, still like very often. So I definitely do some pieces of yoga. I don't sit down and do the classes every day, but I
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, thinking back to that, that was a really pleasant thing to do. I haven't been like I'll do like a couple stretches every once in a while, but like I definitely am not doing it every day. Now that I'm thinking of it, like I kind of want to do some more yoga. Maybe I should make it just like a weekly thing on
should.
like
Yeah.
a Sunday and just do yoga.
It definitely won't hurt you, you know.
I mean,
Well,
like
it might.
honestly, I remember like even in those 2 weeks, like I felt so much better.
Yeah,
Like honestly, just like getting up and just doing that for like 10 minutes.
I think one important part of probably many habits, but if you want to do yoga consistently, I think that there's a lot of value in like signing yourself up for a class or something.
Yeah.
definitely.
Like having something that sort of requires you to do it. Because like left to your own devices, you'll find a million reasons not to do it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
easy.
Because there's
definitely.
so many times where you're just like, oh, I'm not that tired, or like you can so easily convince yourself not to do things that you know you should and that you'll be happy that you did. So there's definitely value in like signing up for a class or something like that, I think.
Yeah.
I definitely I think that's 100% true, and it holds you accountable. The people expect, not necessarily they're gonna yell at you if you don't go, but they look forward to seeing you there, and so does the instructor and stuff. So yeah, do
Yeah.
that. Do yoga.
Uh
Yeah, I'm not gonna sign up for a class though. I know myself. But I might do it. I might do it by myself.
so speaking of ways to get you to do things that you should, I want to talk about the human popsicle, the cold exposure
Yeah.
challenge,
Okay.
because something that I'm still doing this, and one thing that a habit that I've developed is I pretty much only do cold showers now after I've just completed a workout.
Hmm.
And what that does is I don't, there's probably some science in there, but I'm just sort of training my it's like kind of like a Pavlov's dog kind of training thing where I'm getting that dopamine release after having done a cold shower, after having done a workout. So I'm getting that dopamine hit after working out and like trying to create a feedback of, kind of like, I don't know, positive association with working out.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to like use biology to my benefit and both getting the biological effects of the cold exposure, but trying to tie that closely to working out and trying to like join those two together.
Is that
Yeah.
working?
Yeah.
I
Are
think
you
so, a little
actually
bit.
doing that?
Yeah. It's partially I've set up like a recumbent bike and some exercise equipment down in a room, and I've got like my Steam Deck and some things that make exercise more tolerable. But I do think like I will go a couple days now, and if I haven't done a cold shower, then I like there's something that sticks in my brain, like, oh, I should do that. And now it's become so that like, well, if I'm gonna do a cold shower, I have to do a workout beforehand.
Uh,
So it's kind of been interesting in that way, and that's one way that I found that you can use this challenge in particular as a means of kind of, I don't know, forcing or convincing you to do things you might otherwise avoid.
I
Interesting.
I the cold showers, I still do them I would say maybe once a week after jujitsu normally, and
Mhm.
I the cold showers are not tons of fun. I don't like them. I do them because I think they're good for me.
Mhm.
But the when I had set up that cattle feed tub with ice
Yeah.
water in it,
Yeah.
that is so miserable. But I loved it. I loved the way that it felt. I loved pushing through the pain and the misery of it.
Yeah.
I I've been looking into like how can I build my own cold immersion like permanent tub in the basement because the ones that you can buy are like 6 grand or something like that. So,
Right.
but
Like,
it's
just something that's always like, just a freezer, you mean?
well, people do that. They build them out of freezers and stuff like that. So
Oh.
it, it's yeah,
Get an ice machine.
I looked into that as well.
That's kinda Mike and I have talked about this at length. We talked about, like, getting one of those, like, cattle feed trough things and, like, hooking up, running plumbing to it and just buying yourself an ice machine and just
Yeah.
doing it that way, like, we've talked about this a lot.
Speaking of this, the misery of it. I just something about that is like addicting to me. I think this, is kind of telling about my personality, why somebody like me might join the Marine Corps or, get into jujitsu. But the surviving the absolute misery is just it's intoxicating. I love it. I love the fact that like afterwards you're like, yes, I have
Yeah.
done it. You feel like
I
a
mean, there's, like, the
caveman that just survived the winter.
that's, like, biologically true, though, because what you're describing is that dopamine release.
Yeah,
After having defeated or conquered that cold or whatever, like,
yeah.
you've gone through something, so that's what you're feeling, and, like, that that's such a I don't know, it's really cool. Like,
Well, and like
if you go back and listen to my hesitation to doing the challenge before we did it, to now being like an absolute advocate for it, it's such a strange uh, turn of events, I guess. But you're absolutely right.
I
yeah.
haven't once since we stopped the thing, I haven't done a single cold shower because I love taking a nice hot shower, especially now that the weather's starting to get cold. Like, I just want that toasty, warm, steamy shower. I like them, and it'd take a lot to convince me to do more cold showers, I'm not gonna lie.
Would you do the plunges though if given the
I
opportunity?
would, like, in, like, a situation where we did it, where it was kind of like an event, absolutely, like, that was fun, and I would like to I could easily beat myself. I coulda stayed in that tub longer, I know I could've.
I could have
Maybe
too.
we'll
I'm
do it again.
annoyed because
Maybe not as a full challenge, but
well, they do that thing. We are in Minnesota. There's like the polar plunge. People just go to lakes and like, hey, let's go
Oh,
jump in the.
yeah.
There's a lake kind of near my house where people do that apparently, and I am totally gonna do that. I might just go and cut a hole in the ice and be like, hey guys, want to see something funny? And jump in.
anybody want
I
to
mean,
bet me I won't do it?
that's a whole 'nother level, though, I don't know.
I don't know, man.
I'll do a polar plunge if you guys do a polar
Yeah,
plunge.
let's do it. We
Yeah,
don't
we
have
can
to
do
do
that.
it. Yeah, we'll do that.
We
That'll
don't
be
have to do it for the pocket, we can just do it.
what I was gonna say, as kind of a closing thought on this is we talked about a lot during the episode, but the fact that most people, the average person, doesn't experience that much like um, misery or what's it like
Discomfort.
discomfort and like stimulation on a regular basis. I think that's part of the reason why there's like a mental health crisis. Like people require that. It's like part of the human experience, not necessarily be in a situation that's harmful to you, but that's why people are always saying like you should work out. You feel better if you work out. Just go lift some weights. Yeah, I mean, it's true though. It's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of just like a constant, just sort of basically comfortable and
yeah,
bored.
it's killing us. It's killing us.
It
Yeah.
it does reset your baseline. Like I think you're getting at, Mike, is that like for many people it kind of puts you back to zero where oh yeah, that guy might have cut you off in traffic, but you're not submerged in 40-degree water.
Yeah. At
So maybe you
least.
can be a little bit more calm about things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, we got to
But
move on. We could probably
Yeah.
talk about this
Okay.
for a while.
I
let's
do.
keep going. We did talk about it for like an hour at one point.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, it's my turn, right?
Yeah.
Uh, let's talk about Scooby Don't. That was a challenge where we were trying to find the best evidence of the paranormal So we we had a lot to say about it.
Yeah, I mean, we just did this one, like, I
We
don't know how
just
much
did.
more we got to
We
say.
talked
Have
for
you
2.5 hours
Yeah.
about it.
Have you have you gone ahead and created any of those things that you were gonna create?
Well, I haven't had time to do
Yeah.
anything, but I
I
want
guess it was, like,
to.
a month ago that we did this one.
Yeah. So, I
I
mean,
will say this was, I think, one of our most liked episodes. This is a very popular one, I think, for good reason.
yeah.
I liked it too, and the introduction of Count Dankula, he's a new favorite, character that 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 we're gonna
Dankula.
that's gonna come back.
It's
Yeah.
so, but anyway, this was. I think we all got pretty much what we expected out of it. I solved the ghost hunting question, and then we decided that aliens are real, and it's only a matter of time.
I love that one because I talk to people about that one a lot because you guys had such good stuff to say that I was just like, "Yeah." So I actually this is like a thing I talk to people about at, like, parties is like, "Yeah, ghost hunting, they need a retuning," and I know a couple guys that got it solved.
Got it all
I will
figured
say,
out.
as an addendum to that episode, I think, like, genuinely, ghosts and the paranormal are one of the most universally acceptable, or, like, universally engaging topics of conversation,
Yeah,
because everybody's thought about it and everybody has opinions.
yeah,
Yeah.
everybody does.
So, like, if you can finagle your way into striking up a conversation about it with anybody, and if you can get them to engage, like, there's like a half-hour conversation right there.
Yeah,
Maybe not for everybody, but, like, I genuinely am so interested. Like, I would love to hear people's actual beliefs about this stuff because
yeah,
nobody really knows.
that's true.
I don't know. I find it really fascinating.
I agree. Let's
Well, I
move
don't know.
on.
I'm a
Oh, sorry.
professional, certified, professional psychic, so I actually have a lot more to say about it now,
Yeah,
but, we don't have to get into that.
we'll save it for another episode.
Alright, which one do we wanna do? Let's talk about the Tanky Planker.
Keep playing. That
I
was
don't know what to
that,
say
that
about
was
this one.
that was kind of dumb. I
Yeah.
I don't know. It was it was fine. Planks are it's a good exercise.
Yeah.
I think I developed because I've always hated doing planks, but I kinda developed a love of doing planks. Like, I'll do planks now. Like, it's it I because my whole body was sore from doing that. I realized I
Yeah.
was using so many different muscles that, like, I incorporate that into my life a lot more now
I mean it's
because, like, it's not just abs, it's, like, shoulders, legs, everything.
yeah,
I don't know.
it's a great
People need to
workout.
plank more. Yeah,
It's a great workout. I mean,
yeah.
yes, that's all I got to say about it. Hey, if you're looking for a great workout, try some planks.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's about yeah, we kinda ran out of steam quick on that one. Didn't
I
really
will
have
say,
much to
like,
say.
the I wanted to do, like, a physical challenge, and, like, this is a good one that anybody can do, and it was trying to do improvement, and I think that we just kinda learned that, physical challenges will take some tinkering to get right, I think. It's hard to see a lot of improvement in 2 weeks for, like, particularly muscle development.
Any like strength building thing, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, it was an experiment that it was fine.
yeah,
It wasn't great.
I think we all
Alright.
like at the end of that, we were all like almost the exact same, right?
It was
yeah.
pretty close, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, I'm impressed that I did as long as I did, but
Hey, you did great, Dane.
yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even do it the longest. Travis, I
No,
think,
you're most
Yeah.
improved,
was most improved, yeah.
which is fine. You won the challenge.
I'll take it, yeah.
Moving
Alright, Travis.
on,
Moving on, let's do Mr. Sunshine.
Mr. Sun.
This challenge was to try to create as much joy in the world and try to maintain a positive outlook. I won, I think, just because I did things that I think created joy in the world. I donated clothes to, like, a I think men's shelter or something like that, and just did some nice things for people. But realistically, the valuable parts of this episode were that you kind of can't force yourself to be happy, and
Yeah.
it's
In
almost
fact,
detrimental to even try.
It
yeah,
definitely was detrimental for
yeah.
me. I remember, like, was trying so hard to be happy all the time, and, like, it was, like, up, 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 and then just, like, I slid down. I was just like, "Oh, I just feel like crap," and I just wanna I think I, like, watched horror movies,
That's
and I'm
right.
just like, I just wanna feel gross for a little while.
I just want to see people in pain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this one was I didn't enjoy that one. I was like it ended up being like, I'd see people in the hallway at work and be like, "Hi, morning." And then as soon as I leave just you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I went into it thinking it would be, like, awesome, and I'd be but, like, I don't know. It was bad. But I did end up creating my favorite playlist that I have that I listen to a lot now. I made I made a playlist with a bunch of songs that made me happy,
That's
and,
right.
like,
Yeah.
I listen if I'm gonna listen to music, I usually put that playlist on because it's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had some good, actual, genuine, useful stuff in that one, particularly using trying to use music to sort of start your day off on the right foot. So
Yeah.
that's a good takeaway.
Yeah. Besides that, the takeaway was don't force it because
Don't force
you
it.
might go insane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Uh all right.
moving on.
Yeah. Let's talk about the World Hammer. That was another one we
It's a
did
good
recently.
it's a good segue and sort of related.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we did hold on, what are they called?
Affirmations.
Affirmations. I won this one. So we didn't do it that long ago, so I mean, it was I actually I quite liked this one. I think this is something that, and I think I said this, there's real benefit here to, if nothing else, like I know some people kind of say like I tell the universe what I want and then it'll happen for me. It's like, yeah, I don't really buy that necessarily, but as far as setting goals or setting things that you want to remember, I think that is beneficial. And also, I won this one, I think, partially because I kind of adjusted mine to make more sense. And I think having that perspective as you're getting into it is legitimately like it's beneficial, and it keeps you kind of on track for doing stuff.
Have you continued to do them?
I wouldn't say I've continued to do them, but it has kind of, after doing that, it's kind of clarified some things that I want to do in my life. My stuff was finish our video game, get a blue belt in jujitsu, and get satisfaction from my work. And having that in mind has kind of like, oh, okay, so if those are the things I really do want, which I do want, then if I'm actively working against those things, which sometimes we do that to ourselves, where we
Mhm.
inhibit ourselves, even if it's something that we want, then to stop doing that. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say I think we failed this challenge. This challenge didn't fail us.
yeah.
I think that
Yeah.
there's probably ground to come back and do this one in a little different way that we might get more benefit from it.
Yeah.
We might have to reattack this one and do more like talk to ourselves more about it.
Let's talk about how about Yumpin' Yodeler?
Yeah.
I will say a lot of people that I've talked to since that episode came out really want to know what Travis sounds like when he's yodeling.
Can you give us a sample,
Well,
Trav?
no. Uh, a lot of people are destined for disappointment.
Well, we might come back to it.
I was
No, we'll never come back to it.
so the other day we were driving somewhere. Oh, we were driving to Thanksgiving dinner at my in-laws' place, and me and my family took to yodeling in the car for quite some time. It's pretty adorable to be yodeling with me and the kids and the wife. It was a good time. So
That sounds nice.
it was nice.
I think
it's one of those things, like, it's hard to do, like, if you have multiple people yodeling together, it's almost impossible not to be smiling when you're doing it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I would
You
say
can kinda see why wolves and dogs do it,
it's a
Yeah.
you know,
yeah.
howling,
Yeah, that's true. It's
a
a
communal howl.
great group activity.
I do think, like, my kids still periodically remind me that I can't yodel. So, maybe eventually I maybe, like, secretly, I will practice yodeling, and then I'll through hours and hours and days and weeks of effort, I will somehow come up with a passively okay yodel, but not today.
You should, you walk into work a lot, right? So maybe just start yodeling on your way in. The
That would be
neighbors are
kinda
like,
cool.
that's our neighbor that yodels when he walks." You
Yeah,
know?
he's that jerk that yodels at 6:30 in the morning.
Dan,
I was
do you ever yodel these days?
I yodel all the time, I'm not gonna lie. Especially, like, when I'm, like, in the shower,
Yeah.
I'll just start yodeling,
I'll
and, like, like you said for Thanksgiving, like, I was just hanging out with mom and, somebody else, but we were, like,
dad?
well, like, I don't know, I think a bunch of us were there, but, like, they were talking about the yodeling, and they're like, "Yeah, show us some yodeling." So we started yodeling, and then we were all just yodeling. And the kid, it was just like, I don't know, just fun.
Well, when you nail it, you know, and it's like
Yeah.
and it's very satisfying, you know. You yeah. It's pretty fun.
Oh, yodeling. Alright, let's do, Screenicus.
Screenicus.
Screenicus, was the challenge to reduce or eliminate screen time as much as possible. So, you know, videos online, TV, phone browsing, Reddit, and stuff like that. All that stuff we tried to cut down. I had a pretty okay time because I was busy chasing kids and I listened to audiobooks. Dan didn't have such a good time.
This was the worst one we did. I hated this. I hated this with all my heart. Oh, man. 'Cause I had gotten COVID, and I was
That's
stuck at
right.
home, and I couldn't do anything. I read a bunch of books, but, like, books, books are fine, but, like, I just wanna watch a movie, sometimes, well, all the time. I don't
Yeah.
know. I didn't do well at this, and I I don't think I learned anything, and I think that it was just bad, and I hated it. I
I
hated the whole thing.
see, I didn't enjoy it, that's for sure, but, it really made me, like, super aware of how addicted I am to watching videos. Like, I sit down on my computer and immediately go to YouTube, and when I am trying not to do that, so, like, I'd sit down to, like, pay some bills or something like that, you know, so that's what we allowed ourselves to do.
Mhm.
And like the first thing I do is open up my browser and open up YouTube, like without even thinking. And it made me like super aware of like, wow, this is bad. How, you know, and same thing with my phone. I'd sit down on the toilet and pull out my phone and like start poking at stuff, and it was just
Yeah.
that's one thing is like, wow, this is probably not the best. It's so
But
Yeah.
have you gone back to it since?
back to no screens. I will say like that knowledge of how often I jump into things has kind of stuck with me. So I like how quickly I jump into screens, and so I've tried to cut back. I will say I haven't cut back much, but it's at least made me aware of it, which is probably, it's good. It's sort of like when you're trying to lose weight, if you start counting calories, you maybe, it'll at least make you aware of how much you're eating, even if you don't eat that healthy.
Sure.
So it's kind of a check. So,
Yeah. We are still doing the Monday, Thursday no screens,
Really?
sort of. Um, I mean, obviously there are days where we're lenient or we move it here or there, or if the kids have been good, we let them watch a little bit of TV or whatever. But we're still trying to hold to that.
I think I've may have doubled the amount of screens in my house, so I can't be anywhere without a screen. I've gone the opposite direction.
You've actively added more after this challenge.
Yeah.
You're seeking ways to pump it directly into your brain.
Yeah.
Trying to get
Yeah, I think there's still value there, and the physical muscle memory that you talked about, Mike, is a real thing. To this day, even though we're still trying to do the restricting of screens, sometimes I will like you said, sit down to pay the bills. Like I'll sit down at a computer with a conscious thought about I'm going to do something specifically, and somehow YouTube will show up on my monitor.
Yeah, it's true.
It's obscene how ingrained that is.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah. My turn. Okay, let's talk about the introspective detective. This is a challenge where we meditated. We tried to do it every day, and we, I think we just kind of picked who meditated the best. Uh, it is kind of a pretty loose way of judging things, but I quite liked this. I thought there was benefit there, but I don't think anybody agreed with me.
I think we decided that if you like to meditate, then meditation is great for you. But for some people, active meditation or seeking kind of immersion into a flow state it kind of accomplishes the same goal.
Yeah.
Whether that be playing drums or woodworking or anything that you can do to calm your mind or to really fully focus on something. That's sort of meditation.
Yeah.
Do you guys continue to meditate?
I will say I probably haven't done it since that challenge. It's just because I had doing a bunch of other crazy stuff. But no, actually, I take that back. I will say I don't like take 10 minutes and sit there and contemplate things, but the kind of taking a step back and clearing your mind and having tools to do that, I think I do that from time to time. And I think that's out of kind of everything with this challenge, the idea of taking a step back and not seeking stimulus, actually seeking the opposite. I think that's very beneficial. So,
Sure.
yeah, there you go.
I don't think I don't meditate, but um I like to think that, well, I guess, okay, I shouldn't say that because the last challenge we did, I definitely meditated, but that was because they told me to do it. Um, but like I was sitting, I remember after we did that, we did had deer hunting season came, and then I was sitting out in the stand, and you just sit in the stand, there's nothing to do, and you just look at the woods, and I thought about the meditation aspect of what I was doing, and I just had, like, a completely blank mind for, however, like, what, 8 hours of sunlight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if that was it didn't do anything for me. I didn't reach nirvana or whatever, but
Well, can you say that it didn't do anything for you? Weren't you more relaxed coming out of the woods than you were going into it?
I don't know.
Fair enough.
Probably not. I mean, probably not. Like
Dan has conquered meditation.
Well, I think, like hunting, specifically stand hunting, is kind of, it's not necessarily relaxing. Like, it is relaxing, but you're also like hyper tense
Yeah,
watching the wilderness, waiting for
that's
something to
true.
happen. So it's like you got yourself in this like artificial heightened state for the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah, I honestly kinda come out of it exhausted, I would say.
So that is just a
Anyways,
thought.
All right.
um, alright, how about the busiest beaver?
Busiest
That's
beaver.
the
No,
one that's the one where we all tried to see who could, like, what were we doing? Like seeing who could just do the most stuff,
It
right?
was like
Make the most progress on
yeah.
projects.
Right. This was like I think this was the best one that we did. Like I got so much stuff done and like I kind of want to just do this again just so I get a bunch more stuff done.
Yeah, it was good. It was also I didn't enjoy this one because it was stressful to have that hanging over my head like you're not working hard enough, you know?
Yeah.
So like I'd be sitting there exhausted at the end of the day, put in work on some project or other, and then I'd just be like sitting there watching TV and I couldn't really enjoy it because I was like, I'm not doing good enough. So I don't know. And when I got things done, but it wasn't good. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was an element to that, but at the same time, similar to Dan, I made a lot of progress in those 2 weeks. Like, doing the challenge forced me to do things that otherwise would have taken me probably a number of weeks if I ever did them at all.
That's
Yeah,
true.
it, like, just kinda forces you to get up and just do something because you had that anxiety of, like, "I need
Yeah.
to be doing something." It actually gets you to do stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You really have to force yourself to do things.
Yeah. I don't know. I that was that one and the organizing one, I think, were the 2 that, like, were the most I was the most productive I've been in
Yeah.
in a while
Mhm.
when we were doing those.
We'll get into that one, but that organizing one, it was the opposite. I loved that one. I wanted
Well,
Yeah.
let's go right into it.
Okay.
So the
Okay.
synergistic mystic.
Yeah.
I mean, they're very similar. One was just doing work and making progress, and the other one was organizing things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So organizing, I mentioned in the episode, but like, my wife is just like an organizational wizard, and she definitely helped slash carried a large portion of my victory here. Um, but we did a lot of work, and to this day, I will say I'll rhyme some more. Um,
Mhm.
the progress that we made during that challenge is like still paying dividends now.
Yeah.
Like it still brings me joy to go up and see the new bookshelves, or the garage that we organized is still cleaner than it was before. And like, um we had like some moving around in the last few weeks or month or something, and that moving led to boxes being in our garage where we had clean open space before, and that was such a chafing point that we cleaned it up because we wanted our free space again. So we because we knew how nice it could look, we were unwilling to let it be taken over by boxes and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we have
there's something
reclaimed the
about
space.
that. Yeah, like, knowing what it could be
Yeah.
and seeing it in a state of not being that
Yeah.
makes you wanna fix it.
This one I agree with you 100%. Like I don't even remember everything I did, but I know like the stuff that I can think of off the top of my head that I did spend the time on, like it made such a huge difference in those couple areas where we did them. So, this was great. I would recommend this to anybody like, "Hey, spend 2 weeks just organizing," you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and I might even, like, do this again now that I got a dog and, like, my life kinda changed a lot and I bought a bunch of dog stuff. I might, like
Yeah.
it'd be good to kinda go through my house and reorganize all my things in a place. Maybe I'll do that.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
And because I put all of my birthdays and anniversaries and stuff into the Google Calendar, I now just get alerts whenever it's coming up on somebody's birthday. And like that was a thing that I did as part of that
Oh,
challenge.
that's right.
That like it will go in perpetuity.
I was
That's something I should do.
that's something I forgot that was part of it. I, like, made a schedule, and I've been, like, living by that schedule, like, exclusively. It's, like, given me time in the day,
Oh, yeah. I've
so,
been doing that too.
yeah. So, that's
Dang, that was a good challenge.
yeah, that was a
That
good
was a
one.
good challenge.
You know, I
So as unexciting as it sounds, this is probably one of the most valuable challenges we've
that
done.
one was
I
actually
think
recommended to me by somebody I had met at a wedding. They were sitting at the table with me, and I was talking about my podcast. I wonder if they listened to it. Hi, if
Well,
you are.
yeah,
if you
good
did,
whoever
thank you for
you
the
are.
recommendation.
Yeah, yeah. I think that is probably the best one that we did that I can
Uh,
that
I don't know. There's a few that I quite liked.
okay.
We haven't got to yet.
Yeah. So let's go. Let's. Any other thoughts on that one, or should we move on?
Now we can
Let's
move on.
keep moving.
Uh,
Okay, go ahead, Mike.
all right. So the last one that I have, which also means I'm out of the running for the winner, is Poetic Soul. This challenge was we were trying to see who could write the best poem, and our topic that we picked was manliness.
Yeah.
And I think we knocked this one out of the park. I was very impressed with everybody. So uh, I my poem that I wrote brought a tear to my wife's eye in a good way.
Oh.
So that was and then I thought you guys were quite. It was just very good. I don't know.
Uh,
Yeah, I really like this one. This one was kind of like writing poetry is very calming and kind of it gets it what am I trying to say? It satisfies that creative thing,
Yeah.
desire that you have. Um just putting words on paper in a pretty way is a very nice thing to do.
And also because
uh,
we part of the challenge was also to like read poetry. So
Yeah.
I developed some opinions about poetry. I think I aired those opinions in the episode and I stand by them.
Whatever
so
they
we
were.
developed a more informed opinion, not just poetry is dumb and whatever. Like
Yeah,
I have tried a bunch of it, and much of it is not for me, but some of it is.
yeah, that was it. And I think I more or less was leaning towards the simpletons poetry, the stuff that rhymed but still got the point across, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember why, but I was thinking about this challenge. I think within the last week or something, and it's kind of amazing that we all took the same prompt and came up with such very different styles of poem,
Yeah.
and that like Mike, yours is like very rhyming, like dense rhyme scheme or whatever, and then Dan, yours is like kind of I think more modern. Like yours is I was thinking about it. I think Dan, your poem was the air quotes best because of the like
But I didn't win. Why didn't I
I know.
win?
In hindsight, in hindsight, in
I
the
don't
moment,
know
I
about
thought,
that, Travis. But
well, I was just thinking about like the plight of the working man and like
oh,
how
like
the symbology of Dan's is like very, very
it's
good.
like the topic kind of in like what he's
Yeah,
addressing. Yeah, sure.
yeah. So I in hindsight, I think if I had to choose now, I might have gone with Dan's,
Well,
but it
I think what we ended up wasn't it like that we thought all of ours were good, and Mike's was organized the best and rhymed the best and
sure,
sounded the prettiest.
yeah, it is like Mike, your rhyme scheme I mean still is phenomenal. I
Thank
stand
you.
by what I said about the Susie and Teddy Roosevelt. I think that describes it quite well, and you definitely earned that praise. Um,
Yeah,
this was a fun challenge, though.
it was. I kind of almost want to do it again. I used to when I was a angsty teenager. I wrote poetry a little bit. Uh,
Did you?
yeah. Well, you know, back in those days, Dan, if you remember, we were musicians and we were pretty cool.
Oh,
I had
yeah.
long
Okay.
What
hair.
was the name of the band?
We had several iterations. I think the one that
Rabid hamster.
rabid hamster, that is a hamster that has rabies.
Yeah.
In retrospect, that's not the best name, but I stand
No.
by it. That's where I was at the time.
Yeah.
But no, like because I wrote like all the songs that we played, you know, the ones that were our originals, and so
I
like,
suppose, yeah.
and some of them
You
were.
kind of hid that from me, your younger brother.
I hid that from everyone on the planet, and I still have one of the notebooks somewhere, and I kind of hope nobody find it.
Maybe in the future, instead of just poetry, maybe we will write like raps or something.
Oh
Oh, we don't nobody wants
no, no,
that.
but no, no.
But, now that idea's out there, and we'll see.
Yeah.
Uh,
Anyway,
So
we
anyway,
gotta
yeah.
we gotta keep moving.
well, hey, let's talk about the Songsmith.
Yeah.
That's where we made the theme song for the
That's
the
right.
show. I think you guys hated this one. I absolutely love doing this one,
Well,
and
I
I
enjoyed
also
it.
won it.
Yeah.
I love writing music. It was more of the pressure to come up with one that could possibly be like the intro to people for our podcast for people in 2
hmm
weeks. That was stressing me
Yeah.
out.
Weren't we talking about making this be the first challenge of the new season, the new year?
Yeah, I don't think we should do that actually because your song won't have lived a whole year then as our theme song.
Yep.
I think
Mike and I talked a little bit
Oh.
about this today, and we're thinking we would just reprise it a year after your song, after we did the first one.
What month was that?
We'll figure it
who
out.
knows.
Okay.
So I think that we'll keep that on the back burner, and that will allow us to actually enjoy these holidays and not get annoyed at how we can't make the sound in our head come out in the computer.
Yeah.
All right.
Although I will say, like this, I listened to the song that I made. It's pretty good. I mean, it wasn't good for a theme song, but the song itself it had some good dynamics to it. That was kind of
No,
like,
we'll put it in the video game.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's keep rolling here. Let's talk about the silver tongued. This was our challenge to try to get better at saying words. I think overall we have all improved, but we do still say like and
Yeah, and you know,
and
and yeah,
yeah. I think this will be a perpetually ongoing thing, but I do think having done this, and I'm realizing now that I say I do think or I have a number of those.
one
It,
that I say that bothers me whenever I hear it is I would say.
yeah.
That's one that I
Yep, I
say.
do that one too.
Yeah, and well,
Well,
actually, speaking of which, so like, my wife listens to our podcast. She likes it generally, and but she was listening to the Scooby Don't episode, and she like just stopped it, and she's like, "Mike, stop saying like, and you know, you sound like an idiot." She didn't say that, but it was implied.
That was subtext.
Yeah.
as the person who edits the podcast and re-listens to us talk over and over again, um, I notice all of those, and it can get a little frustrating when I hear myself say the word. See, yeah, this challenge stressed me out because, like, see, now that we're even just talking about it, now I'm just thinking, now I'm like focusing on what I'm saying.
Just
Uh,
absolutely derailed.
yeah, it's another thing for my brain to think about, and I can't. The words don't come out correctly.
The problem is when I'm not talking, if I just let myself rattle it off and I'm like, like,
Yeah,
like I if I stop doing that, I talk like this with lots of
right,
pauses so that I don't do that.
right.
Right. Robotic. It's like a stuttering robot.
Yes. Well, I could say that I'm doing dramatic pauses, not unlike William Shatner does in his acting, which I would say are, they're not to be made fun of. They are dramatic and they're pauses. So there you go.
Fair enough. So yeah, all that to say, more improvement is needed, but I think we have come a long way.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think we have, yeah.
All right, Dan, I think it's back to you.
Yeah, it's back to me
'Cause
because
I'm a
Mike's
loser.
out. How
You're-
about your new best friend, Cheesecake, my pooper, my little pooper. She's so cute.
Call her Pooper because she poops on your bed.
She did poop on my bed. She did do that. Yeah, she pooped on my bed a couple times, matter of fact. That's okay. She's still cute and she's adorable.
Yeah, this one was I liked this one actually. I lost.
Have you guys kept in contact with any of the friends that you made?
Nope.
Nope. Have you? Because you won, so you must have, right?
Well, I mean, I got my dog still, but Kevin, I think I made one other friend. I haven't talked to him.
I believe his name was Keith.
No, Keith was my bathroom friend.
Oh, that's right.
That's right. Bathroom friend.
I said that I hadn't kept up with any of the friends, but I did go do another event at the local game store, and I played with one of the guys that I had played with before, and there was a like slightly more rapport there.
Sure.
So some progress was made, but we're not like texting each other or whatever, nor will we be in the future or anytime in the near future, but baby steps.
Yeah. I like this one a lot because it forced me to go out of my comfort zone and be friendly to people. We talked about this in the episode, but
Yeah.
my general demeanor when I'm around people I don't know is reserved, slightly grouchy old guy, which is not great just in general. You shouldn't be that kind of person. So we've talked about this before, I think, but me and Travis we're ex-Marines or Marines, depending on how you look at it. Still Marines, just old and fat. But
I'm Air Force now.
oh, that's right. Anyway, but especially for speaking coming from military guys, I think a lot of guys they think to get people to like them or maybe be impressed by them or to pick up new friends, they need to be cool and kind of scary, sort of. You know what I mean? Yeah, kind of like toxic
Yeah.
masculinity kind of thing.
You be a tough guy.
Yeah, be a tough guy. And
Hey, tough guy.
hey, tough guy. But it's not. You're not doing yourself any favors if you're that.
But you look cool. Maybe somebody be like, "Whoa, that guy's tough."
But the problem is a lot of those guys, especially I don't know, I can only speak ex-military guys, if you try be that cool guy too long, you end up being the guy who's like got a beer gut and you're wearing like a cut off sleeveless shirt and your old like camis pants, your military pants and boots and stuff.
Yeah, you're wearing cut off camis at the VFW.
Yeah. That's not a good look. So I don't know.
Okay.
That's not what you want to be.
Try to make friends, people.
Be friendly.
Yeah.
Just be friendly.
Be friendly. Be friendly. All right,
All right,
Travis.
let's go. I mean, I guess Captain Credentials. We just talked about it.
Do we need to talk about that? I mean, we literally just got done with that episode. Like,
anybody have any new thoughts in the last 20 minutes?
No.
It
was kind of a wash anyway. We all did much poorer than we were hoping to do. So
we can revive
Turns
it.
out it's hard to get credentials without spending money and in a short time frame.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyways, that's all we have.
That's
really.
what I have
We literally just got done talking about that for an hour. Back to me. Master of Wind. I am the Master of Wind. I held my breath for 4 minutes,
which is insane.
Over 4 minutes.
That is insane.
Yeah.
I want to, I actually, I did a little bit more. I did a little bit more breath holding afterwards, because I wanted to see if I could go even further. I never made it any further past 4 minutes, but I had like prepared the whole day for that 4 minute breath hold. Like, that's a fun one though. I really enjoyed that one.
I have taken away from this the trying to breathe through your nose more. So I'm still trying to like occasionally focus on doing that. And here in Minnesota, when it gets cold, like it starts to get really dry. So in winter in particular, I notice when I like sleep and like my mouth is open because I'll wake up with a super dry mouth. So I'm still trying to like train myself to sleep with my mouth closed, which was part of this thing. You try to just breathe right. And increasingly there is, science and evidence and stuff indicating that it's much better for you to breathe through your nose as much as you can. But that's an ongoing goal for me. I haven't done any breath holding though.
For this one, for me, the main takeaway I got from that was the Wim Hof method stuff, and I quite like that. It's kind of a cool thing. It sort of does a similar thing if you do his breathing technique, which kind of hyperventilates you. If you do it the full like 5-minute deal that he has like some guided videos and stuff like that online, then it kind of leaves you with a similar feeling to the ice bath kind of thing, which is also part of his jam. So I recommend it. I recommend people try it. It's pretty cool. It's a cool thing.
Yeah, breathing exercises. They're worth checking out.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Let's talk about the Pumpkinist. This was more of just, I guess, kind of a fun one.
Yeah.
Kind of a way to celebrate the season. I enjoyed it. It was, I guess, kind of a mini break. But
Yeah,
Mike,
it's just
you
sort of
didn't have
like
that. You
we
found it
just
stressful, if I recall.
I'm trying to remember what happened. I remember I had more pumpkin spice lattes than I liked, and if I remember correctly, they were growing on you by the end, and by the end they were just like, for me, just poison, just gross. I like black coffee,
Yeah,
people. I don't know.
yeah, black coffee is the only way to drink coffee.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I also love black coffee, but I found you know, I'm not constantly seeking out pumpkin spice lattes, but in the season, it's a nice dessert.
Is that our takeaway from it? I didn't.
That's that's the big takeaway. Pumpkin spice lattes are they're okay.
Yeah. So,
As an actual takeaway, I think there is value in going out of your way to celebrate the season. I found it to be a good time. Mike, I think you said that you found it stressful and that you were trying to force yourself to do something,
yeah,
which sort of
it's
detracted.
kind of one of those things. It falls down on the same problem that I have with a lot of our challenges. Is I just have no free time, and this one was I wanted to do stuff and I just couldn't. So it's whenever we have these challenges that require like time commitments, I always do just very poorly. And that's, I guess it's not so much stressful. It's just kind of like, ah, dang it.
Yeah.
It's just that feeling
Uh,
for a week or a couple weeks.
yeah,
I
you have
think
so many ideas, but no time to
Yeah.
implement them.
that this one was weird because I did a fair amount during those 2 weeks, but like this fall, like the fall is sort of all pretty basically over now.
Yeah.
Now it's like snow on the ground and stuff. But like I did a lot this fall to like enjoy the fall. So I feel like I am the pumpkinist even though you won the challenge. Like I'm not saying I enjoyed it more than you did, but like I had a really good fall this year. I went to corn maze. The corn maze was pretty lame. I picked some apples. I don't know. I did a bunch of stuff this fall. It was awesome. I had a great fall, you guys. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I'm happy for you. It was a
Yeah.
really close episode, if I remember.
Yeah.
We did get an email from Eileen, friend of the show. She pointed out that you can order pumpkin spice lattes with like half of the sweetener or half the syrup, and she kind of swears by that method. So, FYI, if you're in the market for some pumpkin spice latte, and she recommended A Winter Haunting by Dan Simmons. Just thought I'd point that out there if anybody's looking for. I mean, now that it's winter, looking to get back into the fall mood, cling to fall as
Yeah.
much as you can.
Just hang
Let's
on.
take
Dig your claws in. So
All right.
So I would
Is that me
I would
again?
like to point out that Dan has also dropped out of the running with that, and Travis still has one more honorific, which means
Yeah.
he is a winner.
He's the winner, but he does have one left to talk about.
Yep.
And that last one is Future Corpse, which I guess to reiterate, Future Corpse was when we spent a lot of time thinking about death and coming up with ways to cope with the inevitability of it. I think I won this one based solely on the merit of I got a tattoo. But I do think that there was a lot of value in this one. And also, I think this episode for me was kind of a turning point in the podcast in that, like, it went from let's do yoga, let's listen to Justin Bieber, and then, hey, let's do something of actual, like, really possibly life changing merit.
Yeah.
Which I will say,
So
this one for me, this one made some life changes for me, I think. Like after doing this one, I cuz it, it is an unsettling thing to do to force yourself to contemplate your own mortality in a
Yeah.
real way. But it kind of, for me, it kind of put a fire under my butt to do things like get back in shape and, do start focused effort on, goals that I have. So like for me, this was the impetus to start doing jujitsu, which is something that I kind of, I was interested in, but I didn't, you know, hadn't done it yet. So it's become like a big part of my life lately. So that's been a like a big life change because of that. So that's cool. I thought. Al-
Yeah, for sure.
Also, my
But
I
coffee maker tells me that I'm going to die every day still.
I I kind of forgot that this is where this one came from, but this is where Nad Snillock came from. Remember him? I
Yes.
just put a
yeah.
picture of him out there on our Discord in case you forgot about him. But I do think about Nad Snillock and how I hate him and how I don't want to become him. I think about that quite a bit, honestly. And yeah, this one I would say this is where I think we got deep with the Justin Bieber one, but like we got deep with this
Yeah.
one. Like I remember I recorded myself talking about death and what's important in life, and I have like multiple hours of just me talking to myself and
Yeah.
like getting really real with myself.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah,
Yeah, this one was definitely out of all the ones we did, I think this one left a mark on me. And then
Yeah.
yeah.
I still maintain like there is a reticence to even try it. I if we hadn't done this podcast, I probably never would have made the concerted effort to spend time thinking about it. I wouldn't have read the book that I read. Um, and I think that a lot of people have an sort of an ingrained hesitance to even like think about it in any real way. Like even when people go to a funeral, they kind of spend time trying to find ways to not think about death.
Yeah.
yeah,
So I think there's definitely value there. It's just an uncomfortable thing to do, or can be.
I think part of that is people, it's that whole like YOLO, you only live once, so, live it to the fullest. But I think when you take the time to think about like, oh, I am going to die, it changes your priorities and forces you to do kind of more meaningful things with what you got, you know what I mean? I think
Yeah.
that's kind of the takeaway as opposed to kind of wasting time, I guess. I don't know.
yeah.
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 Speaking of wasting time, we shouldn't do any more of it. And we can get to the unveiling of the name of the Incompetent Cup for
Well,
2022.
how about just like a quick little just overall, what do you guys think of the podcast? You guys having a good time doing it?
Yeah. Mike and I had talked a little bit about this today, not a ton, but I there are challenges where I don't want to. I wish I had more time, or there are things that sometimes feel like I don't want to spend time doing that,
Yeah.
or that sort of thing. But overall, I think I'm in a better spot now than when we started the podcast for sure. I think
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've definitely seen improvement on a number of fronts.
Yeah. And I think it's honestly it's just if anything, I mean, if anything, it's something to do to just keep a variety in life,
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
having these challenges all the time is like it's always something to talk about. It's always something different, these 2 weeks this is what I'm working on. and, like, I'm trying to honestly, it's weird trying to think before the podcast was a thing.
In the before
Like, what did
time.
I do? Like, just all the weeks just sort of melded together, but now I have, like, this is when I was holding my breath for 2 weeks, and this is
Yeah.
what I did, and, like,
Yeah.
it's just kind of, I don't know, I think it's been pretty great, and I'm having a great time.
Well, I agree. It's like having a purpose, to every 2 weeks, having a goal for those 2 weeks. I mean, when do you do that otherwise,
Right.
And yeah, I mean, what I would say is like the 2 week stint that we do for each one of these is like it's perfect because you get 1 week to kind of contemplate what you're doing, and then the second week is you're really experiencing it, like the novelty's sort of worn off, and at the end of it you don't have to do it anymore unless you want to. you know
Yeah.
it's like
Right.
it's the perfect way to expose yourself to things. And what I've noticed for myself, without dumping my purse out too much here, like I felt like before we started doing this, I was kind of stuck doing things. I wasn't really progressing much, and like it was just kind of existing. But like after we started doing it, it's like I just feel better about life. So
Yeah, having, like, something to work towards.
yeah. And it's not just the having a podcast, but like the actual challenges that we are doing. I think somebody, it would be better to do it like as a group, but could benefit from this, without having to shove it out into the world. But just like, hey, for the next 2 weeks, we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna come back and talk about it. You know,
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah, you do little 2-week vacations outside your comfort zone.
yeah. And what
You're
I
just kind of constantly evolving a little bit.
And I think those little stints outside your comfort zone kind of make it more tolerable to go outside of the comfort zone, and makes that discomfort more uh like easier to bear, basically.
Comfortable.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. So, I think it's been awesome. And I would hope that we've inspired somebody to do something,
Yeah.
even if it's not like the goofy stuff that we do or whatever. If it's something, that's all you got to do. It's kind of like everything in life. You just got to do something. It doesn't
Yeah.
really matter what
Yeah.
it is. Just do
Kinda
something.
break up the monotony.
Yeah,
And I think that we see the numbers, the download numbers and people listening growing slowly, which is great. That's fine. One thing that I think would be really cool eventually would be if we did have more people doing it, just engaging in some of these challenges with listeners. I think would be cool. Kind of a someday goal for the
yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
I would love to talk to somebody that listens to us. Please talk to us. Please, just go on Twitter, even if you hate us. It's like, hey, I hate you guys. Oh, there's somebody that listened to us. That's
Or even
great.
like I think not even Twitter, because like many people don't have a Twitter, and I don't even really like being
Email.
on Twitter. Yeah, email is fine. Just perpetualincompetence@gmail.com. Just say hi. And part of this that'd be really cool would be to kind of build a community of, these constant uh small steps of growth.
I would
I think it'd be really
I would
cool.
love to do that. I think that would be the coolest thing ever, to have like somebody other than you two goofballs do these things with me. You know. It's,
Yeah.
yeah.
But, I mean, we're having a good time too
Well,
just
I'm
with
gonna
us.
keep doing it.
Yeah, even if there were 0 listeners, I would still be doing this because there is genuine benefits, and if nothing else, it gives us a reason to continue hanging out.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
this is like talking about, like, spending time with friends, or like what better way is there to spend your time than, you know, any reason, whether it be a challenge or a podcast or anything, just to have a reason to hang out.
Yeah. It's great.
Um, yeah. I
But
guess any other thoughts or
No.
nope.
okay. We've
Well, I
been
mean, we
talking
probably
for a
just talked
while.
for
Oh,
like an hour and a half,
well,
but
I mean, I want to say thank you to anybody who's listened to us. You guys are great. I haven't had any experience talking to you guys besides seeing numbers increase slowly on our platform. So that's great. I like seeing your guys' number. It brightens my day. If you want to
Great
talk,
numbers.
yeah, awesome numbers. Numbers, they go ones and twos, the whole deal.
Our listeners have the best numbers.
They're the
The best ones I've ever seen.
Yeah, I think overall, just for you who do listen, thank you, and let's keep doing this.
Yeah.
All right, do you guys want to know what the addendum to the Incompetent Cup? Man, I can't even say it right now. The Incompetent Cup for 2022 is.
What is it?
I am now the bearer of the Incompetent Cup of Iridescent Splendor.
That's good. That's good.
Excellent.
That's very good.
And I will carry that through 2023 until one of you maybe takes it from me.
That's gonna make your intro like super long.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to like redo that song so that the intro part is like really long.
Let's add another loop or two in there.
Yeah, I probably have to do that. All right. I'll just I'll present you then if we don't have anything else to say.
Yeah.
Now presenting the bearer of the Incompetent Cup of Iridescent Splendor, Travis Braband.
Thanks, Dan. Thanks, Mike. Thanks for everybody who listens. Like we've just been talking for the last hour or so, there's a lot of value to be gained from some of these challenges. Hopefully you listeners can mine that value from our discussion and maybe only take the actual useful, actionable stuff out of here. But hopefully you get some joy and some happiness out of just listening to us idiots talk through some of this stuff. As always, thank you for listening, and have a Merry Christmas, and hopefully see you next year. Thanks.
You did great.